UIM MotoSurf World Championship made waves in Çeşme, Turkey. A vibrant Aegean town famous for its narrow, colourful streets, bustling marina and the iconic 16th century Çeşme Castle, perched above the bay. With windmills, rocky coastlines, stalls selling mussels and handmade jewellery, and a rich agricultural backdrop, the town buzzed with Mediterranean charm. Known as a hotspot for water sports like kite surfing, wakeboarding and wing foiling, Çeşme offered the perfect playground for MotoSurf's high-speed spectacle.
First time in Çeşme, it definitely exceeded our expectations as far as the water and the beach. Beautiful place. I think it's probably the nicest venue we've ever raced in water-wise. So very excited to be here.
So we're here in Turkey and everything is absolutely beautiful. I would say this is one of the most clear water, beautiful blue. Everything is so beautiful here. Really honored and excited to be racing in this water. So we'll see how the results end up.
Çeşme course delivered tight, technical turns and shifting waves, pushing riders to the edge where even the smallest mistake could send them off course.
Track is quite technical. It's like a medium speed track. There's some high speed corners, but also some low speed corners.
It's going to be a fun weekend, but it's not going to be easy by any means. It's a tight, smaller track, so it's going to be a lot of waves from other riders. And if you make one little mistake, you're done. So, as always, we're just going to try our best and see what happens.
9 Turkish riders joined the grid, with Masters competitor Murat playing a key role in both racing and helping bring the championship to home waters.
We organized this in just like 2.5 weeks actually. It was a dream for me since 2017 to have a competition in Turkey. I'm really happy to see my friends, and we're 85 riders. It's amazing here. I wish to do the second time.
This is the star of the race.
The juniors section was split into its respected categories all weekend. In the girls, Ellen Burdova continued to prove she's in a league of her own, sweeping the heats and holding her line in the final. Nela Poznikova was her closest challenger, while Adela Pokarova's consistency across the rounds earned her third. 3 close friends, but fierce competitors on the water.
You know, they're my best friends. I learned so much, but on water we were really big rivals, fighting for the first place. It's really immense and it's really hard, but it was great and I love to fight with them.
In the boys section, Maciej Barwik again showed why he's the benchmark in the junior class. He dominated the early heats and crossed the line first in the final. Oliver Wolf's consistency paid off with a second place finish. Maximilian Hruska made the biggest leap and was able to claim third. The women's category delivered fast, technical racing all weekend, with riders pushing each other to the limit in every heat. In Heat 4, a crash at the back of the pack took out Korean favourite Eunjun Lee, who collided with Rosalia Yanora, ending Eunjun's run before the final. Now let's head over to the live commentary of the women's heat.
A big start to this first heat that Sara Zubarova is taking. So this is where the lead will be contested, and here they come now together and side by side on the run down the back straight, and it's Zubarova who is now in front here by only a minor margin. They met together on the escape coming out of the long lap, did Sara Zubarova. Marvellous bit of riding here from Sara Zubarova to put herself in that top position, as now they come across the line very shortly to undertake that white flag, but this is far from over here now. And it's Sara Zubarova in the pink, right at the front here, being met now by Anita Strukalova, who's got to try and dig deep here and find something to close the gap. So it's going to be a side-by-side battle. Who is going to be fastest out of the pairing here? And now, trying to dodge and weave through a stricken board just into the water. It looks like it's going to go the way of Sara Zubarova. An astonishing performance, an astonishing turnaround. Zubarova is a winner here in Heat 1, here in the women's category. Checkered flag is out. Surfs up here in Heat 2, white flag out, so we will be seeing, as now across the line comes Aliska Matuskova to begin her final. Matuskova has managed to hold position. She's got Sara Zubarova in behind her, but now as they come through towards the final corners, it is going to be race winner Aliska Matuskova ahead of Sara Zubarova. who comes across the line, but it is going to be Eliska Matuskova and Sara Zubrova who are going to come across together.
It all came down to the final showdown. A crash at the back involving Valentina Novotna and Adela Ostrelachilova brought out a brief red flag. But with both riders unharmed, the finals were quickly restarted. Let's head over to the live commentary of the women's final.
They now drift their way and now surfs up here in the women's finale here at Turkey. And straight away at the inside is Anita Strukalova, who leads the way. Further back, Eliska Matuskova around the outside, but it is still Strukalova who leads the way. The two-time European champion will hold position right at the front as now they make their way through the course, halfway through. And now through the slalom they will go. Still at the moment, Strukalova holding position. There's a few movements then further back. We have got a little tussle, what looks to be for the 6th position. So they make their way through towards the final corners on the course this time. It is going to be Strukalova, then Matuskova as well, the number 3 of Sara Zubrova, also in the top 3 as well. It looks like we've got a rider down as well, capsizing through buoy 1, just overextending forward. But it is still Anita Strukalova so far out in front, ahead of Eliska Matuskova, as our race leader Anita Strukalova makes her way through. And indeed, we are going to be seeing the first of the long laps, the number 2 belonging to Eliska Matuskova. Do they commit to the rest of the course, or do they? Sara Zubrova has gone on the long lap, so we'll drop down the order, but that will be in an effort to try and potentially cover off Eliska Matuskova and maintain the 2nd spot. They now breeze through the first sector this time. Sara Zubrova now behind Eliska Matuskova now, so that's after the long laps. Matuskova doing enough to stay ahead of Sara Zubrova, which is bad news for Zubrova, who we're currently seeing in picture. Be interesting to see where she comes out there in comparison to Anita Strukalova, who's still yet to come in for her long lap. And rounding the boys now, coming through towards the final corner on this course. Now around this next left-hander across the line to commence the next lap of action. She now comes to the first sector on the circuit. Now we watch as the number 3 of Zubrova giving chase now after Matuskova. Elisabetta fight over in front of her, who's also gone on for a lengthy run. And we got a rider rejoining the course now. I think that might be Emma Strukalova, we just saw coming out in the yellow. Now on the long lap, we finally do see our race leader come through. This is what we were expecting given the traffic. Anita Strukalova now finally taking that long lap. Now, where will she come out in reference to everybody else? She rejoins the field, and she's ahead of Sara Zubrova, it looks like, who's just in behind. But they're going to come together now very close indeed in towards the final 2 boys. But it is Anita Strukalova who leads the way. Sara Zubrova has caught her right up here. Both taking 1 long lap apiece. And Zubrova now solidifying her place in 2nd behind Strukalova. Now around the next left, Zubrova still hot on her heels. Now will we see another long lap taken elsewhere? Yes, the 2nd long lap being taken by Anita Strukalova. So this is where we will see Eliska Matuskova coming into play now, because she's already done 2. So let's wait and see how this is going to end up. Emma Strukalova as well moving up into 5th as she crosses the line. As now we see our number 1, Anita Strukalova, now crossing. Now has she come out ahead, or is that Eliska Matuskova who's jumped her there? We'll wait and see. There's Zubrova. 1 more long lap to do. Strukalova will be coming up towards the line as well in the not too distant future. They're just weaving their way through the boys, now through the slalom. And indeed the number 2 of Eliska Matuskova, I think she has got her, you know. Yes, I think she has got Anita. So that's great news for Eliska Matuskova. Yes, she has. She's jumped. She has jumped. Strukalova now over that last lap. Brilliant run from Eliska Matuskova. So they come through the red buoy now, midway through the course. And here's Zubrova on the long lap. She's now rejoined ahead of our number 1 sitter. So now it looks like Anita Strukalova has now lost 2 places since the start of the race, and that's going to be very frustrating. Zubrova just popping out in front, coming through out of the long lap, but it's far from over yet as they take the slalom. Eliska Matuskova now back in the lead of the race as they now cruise around on this next lap. We're still waiting to see when the last lap to be coming out, but Eliska Matuskova now leads the way as they push on. So a massive change up through the long lap phase It's Aliska Matuskova, Zara Zubarova, and Anita Strukalova, who started from P1 at the very start of the race and has now since fallen down to third. They're now going to look to masterstroke their way through the remainder of the circuit, but Aliska Matuskova showing exactly why she's a three-time world champion and a three-time European champion at that as well, making her way through the course. A magnificent performance so far and keeping Zubarova in behind in the process. A masterful approach and a victory as well going to Aliska Matuskova. She is your winner here in the UIM MotoSurf World Championship women's category. Winner here at Turkey.
Aliska Matuskova capped off a dominant weekend with a perfectly timed move in the final, sealing her win after strong heat results.
It was actually pretty hard. We were fighting with Aneta and Sarah, and we managed to have Rocket's podium, so I'm really glad to see that in MotoSurf, and thank you.
Zara Zubarova, consistent throughout the weekend, delivered one of her best races yet to claim second.
It was incredible, I really enjoyed it, and it was fun.
Aneta Strukalova, who had won multiple heats and started from pole, couldn't hold her pace in the final and settled for third.
The girls are really fast, so the race was very fun, and I'm going to try to push next race more.
Emma Strukalova made impressive gains to finish fourth, while Elizabeta Fajtova stayed sharp all weekend to secure a well-earned fifth. The stock class was a highlight reel of unpredictability. Anthony Squire built momentum across the weekend, but it was his final heat where he truly shined, stamping his name as a serious contender. But Heat 3 ended in controversy when Hassan Bobas collided with Kim Min-sung on his final lap, and Bobas was disqualified from the heat for dangerous driving, resulting in 0 points for that session and removing his lowest scored heat, dealing a major blow to his overall season points. But that setback only fueled his fire. Bobas came back with fierce determination and took a commanding win in Heat 4 and the finals.
First of all, Alhamdulillah, we finished Turkey GB with the first position for Kuwait, and it was a tough race. It's not easy, it's too hard, and it takes a lot of pressure and training time.
Adam Ficek was methodical and strong as ever, climbing from 6th on the grid to secure a well-earned second. Kim Down had been running in second for much of the race, but a missed long lap penalty dropped him to third. In the Stock R category, Fares Ramadan kept a calm, steady pace throughout the weekend, performing well in the heats and launching into the lead during the final. But a jump start penalty cost him his podium spot, shaking up the final results. That opened the door for Adam Kolar, who had been lurking in second, allowed him to take the win in the finals.
I feel so good after this race. This is my first season in Stock R, and I'm doing incredibly well. I thought I will be like 4th, 5th, and now I started in the final with number 1.
Mike Michaelides, hoping just for a podium finish, climbed into second.
Race went amazing as expected. I said I will get podium here. I got the podium here. I'm very happy. That means I'm going back with a big smile.
While Italy's Tanda Lorenzo capitalized on the chaos to claim his first podium of the year in third.
For this race, I have little time for the training, and the final is good. It's just incredible this. And thank you. See you later. See you in the next race in Italy, Manfredonia. And thank you.
In the Masters class, Kim Down came into the weekend with something to prove, and he backed it up with style.
Yeah, race is now getting tough because we are coming to the final, so I'm so nervous. And in the final, I really want to win both categories, so in stock and in master, and I can do that.
From heat wins to the final flag, he remained calm, clinical, and completely in control. Petr Poznik held strong in second throughout, keeping the pressure on but never overreaching. David Poznik was right in the mix, pushing the pace and staying within striking distance all race long to round out a well-earned podium. Rocket Racing made their presence known, led by founder and six-time world champion Lukasz Zahorski. While still racing in Elite, he mentors riders like Eliška Mariškova, fine-tuning every lap.
We have 40 riders this season. We have riders from the class, elite class, stock and stock R classes. And basically what I do is that I advise my riders on strategy, on their technical skills, how to ride on the board. And also we help them with the maintenance of the board. We make sure the boards are ready and prepared for racing. For example, with Eliška Mariškova, we were training with the data measuring device. So we measure the line, the RPM, stroke position sensor, the speed. And based on these factors, we compare them with mine results. And we are able to find the small gaps where she's able to even improve her lap times on any race in the world.
The elite category was a chess match at full throttle. Matej Kozicek set the tone early with the fastest qualifying time, on his birthday no less, and went on to dominate 3 of the 4 heats with calm, commanding form. But in Heat 4, Maciej Novotny surged to the front and broke the streak with a standout win. Lukasz Zahorski had been shadowing Kozicek all weekend, and the final race would reveal just how fiercely these top riders push the limits. Now let's head over to the live commentary of the Elite Final.
A hefty advantage given to our P1 sitter, Matej Kozicek. So we now wait for the flag to drop and surfs up here in Heat 4, the final, or should I say the final of the elite class here in the UIM MotoSurf World Championship. Great start here for Matej Kozicek around the outside. Already we're seeing some movements further back as well, as there's side-by-side between 2 riders. I think that might be Matthias Novotny and maybe Alex Luke Schneider as well. Side-by-sides again, contact, a rider goes down. My goodness, already we've seen one fall at the moment. Now as we see more and more come through, now Zahorski, and it looks like Kozicek are going to come toe-to-toe. Now the 2 riders up at the front come side-by-side. Brilliant move indeed by Kozicek to hold on to the lead, and it looked like Zahorski was going to pressure him right across the line coming out of the final boy. Snippets, shades of what we saw back in Heat 3 earlier on in the weekend on Saturday. Truly remarkable stuff there between the 2, but it is currently the apprentice leading the master. It's Matej Kozicek out in front, ahead of Lukasz Zahorski. Second place at the moment with Matthias Novotny further back as well. It's currently the same 1, 2 and 3 we've expected to see over the course of this final, but at the moment Matej Kozicek still out in front, and Lukasz Zahorski definitely on trend, looking to perhaps return the serve, and this time in his favour as they weave through the bollards and the boys before then coming through towards the final corners to commence the final lap of asking. 12 laps, remember, in this elite battle, the final race of the weekend to decide who will stand on the top step of the podium. Matej Kozicek definitely showing huge elements of brilliance here. Zahorski starting to get a little bit closer, was a little bit better coming through to that top half, that top right-hand corner of the course this time, and this time Zahorski knows it. He's going to try and take the long lap in order to undercut Kozicek here on this next run. We'll wait and see whether this does pay off for him as he now weaves his way through the boys. Champion is going to come out, I think, just ahead of number 3, Matthias Novotny, as they now make their way around. This time, Kozicek crossing the line, just taking a little look up and just seeing where his competitors are. And this time, I'd imagine he'll look to cover off Zahorski this time. It looks like our race leader is going for the long lap, so that's Kozicek going for that long lap. So we'll see where he comes out in comparison to Zahorski, as now he comes around the far reaches of the long lap course, and there is Zahorski to meet him now. They're going to go side by side coming through, but Zahorski with the upper hand, and the hand was raised, so he immediately goes for that long lap this time. As we now watch the riders come through the first sector once again, and this is Matej Kozicek. Will he respond straight away to Zahorski? A little bit of misbalance there. That was very close from Kozicek. Can't afford for too many of those, because Zahorski will pounce on those moments if he's not careful. And of course, Zahorski already completing the 2 long laps, which will stand him in good stead for later into this race. It'll give him that extra bout of confidence. And it opens up potential mistakes here for Kozicek unless he can mastermind his way through the long lap. This is going to be certainly very special indeed. There is Kozicek. He's being joined by what looks to be the number 3 of Matthias Novotny as well. Novotny towards the rear of the field and weaving his way through the boys right now. As they weave their way through, and it looks like they're going to be side by side through the slalom as well this time. He's got Mateusz Novotny for company as well as they round the final corners to begin yet another lap. And yes, it is going to be Zahorski out in front. But you simply never know. We saw a side-by-side tussle right on the final lap of Asking before. Now we see Zahorski coming around the final corner, and they're catching up here with Yuri Wolf as well, who's coming around the final corner. There is Kozicek coming through turn 1. And a little bit of misbalance there from Mateusz Novotny in third place on track at the moment. As they weave through the S's, coming through the, as Zahorski comes around the final corner. Now there is a little bit of a gap to Alex Luke Schneider to those behind, so it might be enough to undertake the long lap, though it's going to be very close as the white flag has come out. So if Luke Schneider's going to go for the long lap here, it's going to have to be quick. He does so, and yes, he is. There he is, Alex Luke Schneider making his way around on the long lap, it seems. And Zahorski will now take the lead of the running, with second place going to Matej Kozicek. And equally, Mateusz Novotny now moving into third, but it's Lukas Zahorski showing all of his prowess of a 6 times world champion, and making his way through the slalom for the final time. He may not have started in first place, but he soon as sure got it. Came around the final corner to victory here in Turkey. It is going to be Lukas Zahorski, your winner. Second place for Matej Kozicek. He'll finish behind his hero this time, but there'll be other occasions for Kozicek to certainly battle against his fellow competitors, fellow Czech counterparts. And Mateusz Novotny, the reigning elite class world champion, coming across the line in third. Even the marshals giving them a round of applause. That was a fantastic race, but it was Zahorski who got the better of Matej Kozicek this time. A fantastic race between the two, and Zahorski saying, so close, you were so close.
Lukas Zahorski stepped up when it mattered most, making a clean move in the final to steal the win after a strong run through the heats.
It went perfectly for me. I'm out of breath and out of words because it's been an incredible race. The guys, it was just, you had to see the video, it was so close with each other. It was an incredible, and thanks to some luck and, you know, I don't know what kind of power I made it to the first place, and I'm very grateful and excited about that. And really excited, so yeah, great weekend.
Matej Kozicek, fast and focused all weekend, couldn't hold him off and settled for second.
It was one heck of a battle. We fought through like 5 buoys, 5 turns, side by side. It was incredible. Unfortunately then, I gave it my everything. Lukas, he managed to overtake me on the long lap. He's just incredibly fast, and it's super hard to keep pace with him. So I finished in second place, right behind him.
Same goes for him. He was also great, right?
He's an amazing guy. It was incredible. I had so much fun. One of my favorite races that I ever did. Turkey is spectacular, and I hope that we get to race here next year again.
Mateusz Novotny kept it steady to take third, while Alex Luke Schneider wrapped up a solid weekend with a strong 4th place finish. Dr. Mehmet Kasapoglu, former Minister of Youth and Sports, visited the event and met with the elite riders, showing strong support for Turkey's growing presence in global motorsports. That wraps up our UIM MotoSurf World Championship round, where turquoise waters, passionate fans and fierce racing made for one of the standout debuts of the 2025 season. See you all at the next round.